Billionaire left a $0 tip. What the single mom waitress found under his plate changed everything. The diner was unusually quiet that afternoon, the kind of lull that made every clink of silverware echo. Emma balanced her 2-year-old son, Leo, on her hip as she wiped down a booth. She hated bringing him to work, but the babysitter had cancelled again, and missing a shift wasn't an option. Rent was due. Diapers were running low. Every dollar mattered. When the man in the tailored brown suit walked in, everyone noticed. He didn't look like the usual diner crowd. His shoes were polished, his watch expensive, his posture confident but tired. He chose a booth near the window and glanced briefly around before sitting down. Emma approached with a menu and her practiced smile. "Coffee?" she asked softly, adjusting Leo as he squirmed. "Yes, black," the man replied, his voice calm, distant. Throughout the meal, he barely spoke. He ordered simply, eggs, toast, and bacon, and ate slowly, lost in thought. Emma checked on him twice, refilled his coffee once, and tried not to stare at the suit that probably cost more than her monthly rent. When he finished, he placed his napkin neatly on the plate, stood up, and walked toward the register. Emma noticed he didn't look back. A few minutes later, she cleared the table. Her heart sank. On the receipt, the tip line read, $0. Emma felt that familiar sting behind her eyes. She swallowed it down. It wasn't the first time. People judged quickly. Her tired eyes, her child at work, her worn shoes. She told herself it didn't matter. She'd get through the day like she always did. As she lifted the plate, something slid onto the table. A folded piece of paper. Confused, Emma set Leo down beside her and unfolded it. Inside wasn't money. At least, not at first glance. It was a handwritten note. "I didn't leave a tip on the table because this isn't a tip." Her breath caught. She flipped the paper over. Tucked inside was a cashier's check. Her hands began to shake as she read the amount. $50,000. Emma gasped, instinctively looking around as if someone might snatch it away. The note continued. 20 years ago, a waitress just like you paid for my breakfast when I had nothing but coins and pride. Today I saw you counting change with a child on your lap, and I remembered who I was before I became who I am." Tears blurred her vision. This isn't charity. It's repayment, with interest. Use it to breathe again. At the bottom was a name she recognized instantly. A name she had seen on business magazines at the grocery store. A name associated with skyscrapers, technology companies, and billion-dollar deals. The man was a billionaire. Emma sank into the booth, clutching the note to her chest as Leo tugged at her apron. For the first time in years, she cried, not from exhaustion or fear, but from relief. The next weeks passed in a blur. She paid off overdue rent. She replaced the broken heater. She enrolled Leo in a small daycare she had once walked past but never dared enter. For the first time, she slept through the night without panic pressing on her chest. One afternoon, she received an envelope in the mail. Inside was a job offer. Not at the diner, but at one of the billionaire's companies. The position wasn't glamorous, but it came with training, benefits, and a schedule that let her be home with Leo in the evenings. At the bottom of the letter was a final line, handwritten. "One act of kindness can change a life. Pass it on when you can." Years later, Emma would tell Leo this story. Not about money, but about moments. About how people aren't always what they seem. About how the smallest gestures can echo across decades. And about the day a billionaire left a $0 tip, and changed everything.